Hi, I'm Dorian Curtin, and I'm going to be telling you about the potential LA River Park locations. There are 4 different sites that are great future park locations. So first, a bit of background. Los Angeles is currently America's second largest city. It is located on the west coast of the United States in the southern part of California in the county of Los Angeles. Los Angeles was originally settled by the Chumash and Tongva and other indigenous tribes. A Spanish outpost was established in 1769 and was named El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de los Ángeles de Porciúncula. Translating in English, it means the town of Our Lady, the Queen of the Angels of Porciúncula. In 1821, all of the California was considered a part of Mexico due to their independence from Spain. After the Mexican-American War, California was annexed in 1848 by and is still part of the United States. Here's a picture of the city of Los Angeles. So Los Angeles's population started to increase exponentially during 1849 due to the discovery of gold. The Southern Pacific Railroad connected Los Angeles to San Francisco, California, and the East in 1876. Then the population increased even more due to the concept of manifest destiny and the drive to inhabit, civilize, and utilize the Western Plains and coast driven into the American citizen in 1881. The reason for the location of Los Angeles was due to the river that flowed through the Los Angeles Basin. The river was aptly named Los Angeles River, formed by the Los Angeles River watershed and supplied by the Santa Monica Mountains and the San Gabriel Mountains. The river was stabilized through the construction of concrete walls that lined the river's path by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in the 1930s due to multiple flooding events. So the cemented Los Angeles River is 51 miles long, the first 32 of these miles residing in the city of Los Angeles. The project will be focused on the area around the Los Angeles River that runs through Los Angeles. Here's a picture of the Los Angeles River. So in 2005, Los Angeles started a major public works project centered on the human dimensions of the Los Angeles River. The project, the Los Angeles Revitalization Master Plan, looked for parcels of land along the river corridor to redevelop so the residents' quality of life was increased. This plan focused on large-scale regional development. The data presented is going to identify potential smaller neighborhood projects. Here's the proposed project plan. So potential LA River Park site criteria is, in order to find a suitable site for a park near the LA River, the following factors had to be considered. So a vacant parcel of land with an acreage of at least 0.25 acres. The site is at most 0.5 miles away from the LA River. And it has to be in a densely populated area to serve as many citizens as possible. It must have a population density of 8,500 people per square mile or greater. A considerable amount of the population is comprised of children. At least 22% of the population is under the age of 18. It must be located in a lower income neighborhood. The median household income has to be $50,000 or less. The potential site has to be at least 0.25 miles away from an already established park. So the 4 potential LA River Park sites that met the previous criteria are seen as follows. So this is a map with the Los Angeles River with the 4 potential park sites without any of the physical criteria, so as not to distract you. So here are the number 1, site 1 and 2. You can't really see 1 originally because they're right next to each other. So here's site 1 and 2, and then site 3 and 4 are on the other end of the LA River. Site 3 is right there and site 4 is right there. So here's the next map with Los Angeles River with the 4 potential park sites, including the physical criteria like the already established parks and the distance within half a mile of the river. So once again, here's site 1 and 2, and then site 3 and 4. So specific data of the 4 sites. So site 1, which is seen right here, Its acreage is 0.3 acres. The distance from the river is 0.11 miles. Its population density is 14,047 people per square mile, and its median household income is $39,493. Sorry. The percent of children in its population is 24%. Some pros of the site is that the land has little to no vegetation on it, so there will be a clean slate to build the park. A school is just a couple of blocks away from it, and it has good vehicle access. So some cons are the property rests on a slope that could be an issue while building. The property is partially built on as seen here. So site 2, its acreage is 0.7 acres. The distance from the river is 0.12 miles. Its population density is 14,047 people per square mile, and its median household income is $39,493, and its percent of children in the population is 24%. Its population density, median household income, and percent of children is the exact same as Site 1 since they're right next to each other. So some pros of it is that a school is just a couple of blocks away. It has good vehicle access, and it has minimal vegetation on the property. It's essentially just dirt, and it makes it easier to develop on. So it's the largest parcel of property out of all of the potential sites at 0.7 acres. But a con is that the property is partially built on, seen here. So for site 3, its acreage is 0.3 acres. The distance from the river is 0.12 miles. The population density is 9,894 people per square mile. The median household income is $45,000 or $45,032, and the percent of children in the population is 28%, which is the highest so far. Some pros of the site is that it borders an industrial zone and a residential zone, and this will raise the quality of living by a fair amount considered to all the other sites. So, but a con is that it's the furthest site from the river. It's the lowest population density, meaning the least amount of people will benefit in the direct vicinity of the park, and the highest median household income. Site 4. So the acreage is 0.3 acres. The distance from the river is 0.038 miles. It's the shortest distance from the river. Population density is 16,533 people per square mile, and the median household income is $35,107. The percent of children in its population is 28%. Some pros is that it's the closest site to the river. It has the lowest median household income, meaning this demographic would benefit the most of the increase in quality of life. The least developed of all the parcels seen here. And then it's already primarily grass. So to improve the property and build a park, there will already be a basis to add on to, and there won't be anything to clear. It's just grass, so there's nothing to try to knock down or anything. Only a couple of blocks away from a high school and an elementary school. A con is that a lot of trees are on the property, so if the design of the park requires any development, the monetary cost might be substantial. They will have to work around the trees if they want to keep them. So, but another potential pro to this, though, is that since the trees are already there, you wouldn't have to plant trees, or you could just add benches and other structures that won't have to require the destruction of trees. So for the potential park sites from most to least beneficial, I believe that site 4 is the most beneficial, being the closest, the one that's partly already established with grass and vegetation, and that it's in the zone with the lowest median household income. So the most people, or it will raise the value of life the highest. And then site 2 and 1 are essentially the same, but I place site 2 above it since it has a bigger acreage. It is a little bit further away from the river, but not by much. Site 3 is the least beneficial, I believe, since it's developed on and it doesn't have any of it's the lowest. It has a low population of children, a high household median income, and then so for this, I created a dashboard so that way you can interact with it. It shows the data for each site with And then for right here, you could see the sites. So when you zoom in, when you press on the points, what pops up is information about the site. So there's information right here. So it says Site 2 has good demographics and good vehicle access off a main road. There's steep slopes on the property. It may be an issue. And it includes an actual picture of the site. This is just to add on to the other maps. So when we go back up to the maps that include the sites up here, when you click on it, you can see a better view of it. That was just to include both the actual data and what is given. So you can see the picture of Site 2, the picture of Site 3, and the picture of Site 4, along with supplemental data. And when you go to Site 1, you can see a picture of Site 1. So once again, I state that I believe Site 4 would be the most beneficial to build on because of all the data previously stated before. Thank you.